Joo. Mihinkähän mä jäin? Tässä meni useampi päivä. Useampi päivä meni siitä, kun aloitin tän ja... Mä en oikein ymmärrä, mitä tässä tapahtui, kun tuolla vankilassa oli tuolla joku tyyppi. Ja se yhtäkkiä hyökkäsi meidän kimppuun sitten. Tietokone teki jonkun jutun tossa äsken. Mutta mä en tiedä yhtään mikä meidän tarina tässä edes oikein on. Troubled waters. Okei, eli meillä on mennyt sinnekin vankisaarelle. En pitäisi saattaa kaulapanta pois, mutta mä en nyt tiedä, missasinko mä jonkun mahdollisuuden siinä, että mä en auttanut sitä vankilatyyppiä ollenkaan. No, tää nähdään sitten. Me ollaan nyt... Tuolla on joku tyyppi, onko tää kiltti vai... Onko tää kiltti vai käykö se meidän kimppuun, jos me mennään juttelemaan. Vähän pitää opetella tätä kameraa tässä. Tää. En mä halua ottaa. Miksi mä otan näitä laatikoita? Otetaan tuokin pois. No, katsotaan.
Why, you're looking... There you are. Not too tight, I hope. The collar, I mean. Oh, not to worry. Every dog has to get used to its leash.
Woof, woof.
In the meantime, your next stop will be Magister William. All passengers have to be registered in the ship's manifest, and he's the chap in charge of the logs.
Magister William.
You'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters.
Oliko se Magister?
No lesions, no trauma. He was black magic.
Pitäisikö meidän kertoa tolle tosta? Mulla on vähän aina näissä peleissä semmonen, että mä en luota kehenkään ennen kuin ne toisin osoittaa, että... Enkä kyllä luota tommosen ihmisen, joka pistää meille kaulapantoja.
Dungeon? You have the gall to call my laboratory a dungeon? I'd be quite annoyed with you if you didn't look so honestly perplexed.
Index fingers pressed to her lips, she pauses a moment to give you a scrutinizing gander.
Yeah.
My word, you do seem a bit befuddled, don't you? Perhaps I was a bit too generous with that sedative. Oh, well, I'm sure you'll soon gather your wits. Most likely. Eventually. In the meantime, all you need to know is that we're en route to Fort Joy.
Fort Sure.
A new life awaits, and if you're a particularly good girl, perhaps a cure as well. An end to Source. For good.
Okei, eli me voidaan sanoa vielä tämä. Sanotaan se.
Is he? Oh well. Some problems simply sort themselves, don't they?
Ai, se ei välitä.
She frowns and peers at you closely, resting the back of one hand on your forehead and taking your pulse with the other.
Delusions such as these are rare but not unheard of. I recommend a cup of mulled wine and another night's sleep. Just take it easy.
No käy katsomassa. Siellä ne on ne raadat.
Why, for my peace of mind, of course. Why don't you try casting one of those Source spells of yours? See what happens.
Mä oon rogue enkä mikään sorcerer. Ei varmaan, joo. Onkohan se semmonen vähän niinku joku sähköpantatyyppinen, että se antaa sitten meille jonkun rangaistuksen siitä, että jos me tehdään jotain.
Oh, do go on. I won't hold it against you. Promise.
Ei.
My, aren't we a meek little lamb? Perhaps I needn't have collared you at all, though it does look darling on you. So let's just leave it on, shall we? Because to answer your question, what this collar does is this. It makes you unable to cast Source. For your own peace of mind, of course. Yours and the whole world's.
Okay. Täällä on lisää kaulapantatyyppejä. Lapsia.
No lesions, no trauma. He was bled by magic.
Good gods! There's been a murder here.
Behind the Magister, a bloodied mass lies in a heap. Gore and limbs lie at odd angles. You can't make out a face amid the mess.
There's been a murder. A sorcerer was killed by one of your own. Lucky you were busy getting your collar fitted at the time, or you'd be a suspect like the rest of them.
Jaa. Mistä ne tietää, että se on ollut pannallinen tyyppi?
Waters is investigating. She'll figure out who did it. Always does. It's a small ship. His name was Finn. Oddball. Looked to me like he saw something he wished he hadn't before he came here. We'll find out who did it, one way or another.
Ai, enks mä saanut kysyä?
Nothing to see here.
Okei.
A young Magister stands pale and silent. Her knuckles whiten around her weapon as you pass.
Ai, mä en saanut kysyä uudestaan, että saanko mä auttaa. No, pysy paikoillas nyt.
Ugly sight, isn't it? Burns me up this happened under our protection. We're extremely lucky no Voidwalker followed the source that did this.
Voidwalken. Mikä se on?
Finn didn't see it like that. He was desperate for us to help him. Two things scared the living daylights out of him. His own shadow and his own source. We'll find out who did this. Speaking of,
She looks up at you with a mirthless smile.
I was on duty in your room when the murder happened. You were asleep the whole time. Didn't even stir. You're one of the only indisputably innocent people on the ship. Unless you can commit murder in your sleep, of course.
Ehkä.
What a well of knowledge this tomb is. Dallas is such a dear lending it to me.
Mä luulen, että nää ei ajattele, että joku magisteri voi tehdä tän.
Finn was killed by Source. If a Magister could do that, there wouldn't be a Magister.
Are you sure?
It looks more like a passenger managed to slip their collar. And the rest, well, you see the evidence in front of you. Listen, I could use someone to keep their ears open among the passengers. Sometimes they clam up in front of a uniform. Bring me a good lead and I'll throw in a shiny gold coin for you. How about that?
Sure. Tää on vähän hankala tämmönen aloitus, kun me ollaan jumissa laivassa, meillä on panta kaulassa. Nämä magisterit näköjään on niitä, jotka tässä nyt niinku hallitsee tätä tilannetta. Jos mä en auta, mä luulen, että tässä voi olla mahdollisuus, että se on joku magisteri, joka sen on tehnyt. Saanpahan jotain tekemistä. Mitähän se tuumaa, jos mä sanon, että me ollaan vähän kalliimpia kuin muutama kultakolikko.
Not in here it isn't. You let me know if you hear anything. Whoever did this is dangerous.
Yeah, sure. Pitäis opetella käyttää noita.
Did the murderer take him into this room? Or was he already here?
Siinä on mitään. Pitäis opetella käyttää noita keyboardin
No known associates.
namiskoita vähän sen mä en.
To spending time with others.
Vielä hallitse sitä, mutta katsotaan kyllä tästä.
Why won't you sing? A no doesn't
Just
mean yes
sing.
every time, you know.
Ai, okei. Okei. En mä tiedä tarvitaanko me noita tyhjiä potion bottleja, mutta
If you keep carrying on. One of us wouldn't kill our own. They're picking us off one by one.
An elf sits tucked away in a dark spot, lazily rolling dice onto the surface of a barrel. They sound like the dry cackling of an old witch.
Snake eyes.
She chuckles.
I bet that's just what they'll look like.
What are you trying to hear anyway?
Rolling dice. Deciding fates.
She eyes you quite seriously.
Not the future, no, but I can read the past in flesh. One of the perks of being an elf, you see. I'm quite good at it, too. I could lick your arm and tell you how you spent the night before last. Shall I?
Ew.
She chuckles once more.
That red-cheeked refusal tells me more than licking you would. But suit yourself, darling.
Just joo.
Don't worry, honey. It isn't yours.
She looks you up and down with the merest hint of a coy smile on her lips.
Never say never, though.
Okay.
Why won't you sing?
Would you put a knuckle in it? I'm trying to concentrate. They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them. I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on. One of us wouldn't kill our own. They're picking us off one by one. The Magisters are out for blood. You saw the body, didn't you? Big bruiser like you ought to be able to take them on.
A broad dwarf sits totally upright on the bench, eyes closed, palms face up on his knees. His beard is a cascade of meticulous plaits, each one braided through with golden medallions. He raises an eyebrow as you approach, but doesn't open his eyes.
Listen up, Geralt. You hear that?
I've never dined on anything less than a dozen-course dinner, and I don't intend to do away with the custom.
Well, there has been a murder, Your Majesty. Maybe that has the Magisters more concerned.
Mitäs meidän pitää kuulla?
The ship, of course.
Ai.
Saucy with me when you clearly don't know the first thing about sauce.
A wave of sound washes over you. The unintelligible chatter of your shipmates, the groaning of wood from floor to ceiling, the boom, crash and crackle of waves around you, complaints from the sea itself.
And?
I always knew you'd turn out rotten, Ben Nest. Your kind always hung closest to our divide, like wolves around a campfire.
Well, you've got this wolf on a leash now.
As soon as the Inquisitor gets here...
The fellow cocks his ear, listening.
That isn't anger, it's...
He cocks his ear to the other side, then smiles.
anticipation. She senses something. I'd hold on to my breeches if I were you, mate. That's all you hear, though. Listen close. There now, just like that. Squeak! Aha!
His eyes snap open as his countenance breaks into an expression of joy. One great paw claps you on the back. The other catches you before you lose your footing.
There, you heard it, didn't you? I knew it. I knew it. Aye, this is good news, kiddo. Good news.
Niitä on 5. Tää on siis se, mikä oli siinä Origin Storyssa yksi niistä.
I've seen more appetizing things coming out of plague-stricken pigs.
There's nothing else I can make, Your Majesty.
Mikä se oli?
It's the wheel, the wheel. Don't you see, you beautiful idiot? Squeaks whenever the helmsman jerks it clockwise, which means we're heading east.
Okay.
Burn my beard. That means if we've been traveling for, yes, only 10.34 nautical miles to Fort Joy.
Okay.
You get saucy with me when you clearly don't know the first thing about sauce.
Never thought you'd end up in prison,
That right? I always knew you'd turn out rotten bednest. Your kind always hung closest to our divine, like wolves around a campfire.
Well, you got this wolf on a leash now.
Mitä siellä on?
No indeed, kiddo. But that ain't my final destination.
Okay.
The dwarf leans back from the table and strokes his beard, gold medallions jingling merrily. His eyes roll over to you.
How dare you?
That'll be all, thank ye kindly, kiddo.
I've seen more appetizing things coming out of plague-stricken pigs.
There's nothing else I can make, Your Majesty. Turnips and water are all I was given.
Unacceptable. I've never dined on anything less than a dozen...
He continues stroking his beard, a beatific smile on his lips, and doesn't acknowledge you anymore.
Otetaan olutta vähän se. Effects unknown. Okay.
Why won't you sing?
Well, well. What have we here?
Kaikki täällä.
A fresh face in this stale hell. Let's size you up, shall we? See if you'll do.
The lizard looks you up and down, like a farmer would a fetching horse. All of a sudden, he grips you firmly by the chin, with the intent of inspecting your teeth.
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on.
One of us would kill.
I'm inspecting your teeth, in case that wasn't spectacularly obvious.
Was.
There's some discoloration, but I've seen worse. After all, one can't expect to find prime merchandise on a squalid little ship like this.
Thanks.
Now then, to business. You will answer me 3 questions. The first one is this. Can you cook?
Mikä tyyppi tää oikein olevina?
Oh, goodness, no. And don't even mention the demon's testes that are turnips. On to the second question. Can you knit, weave? In short, tailor?
En ainakaan vielä.
Can we just skip to the part where I reassure you and you shut up?
You think me mad?
Mad? Insufferable, surely.
Oh, but to feel the caress of satin on my scarlet skin once more. A most satisfactory answer indeed. On then to my final query. Have you the ability to administer the upkeep of one's personal appearance? The delicate art of cosmetics is what I'm after.
That right? I always knew you'd turn out rotten bednest.
No, naisena tietysti tää on ihan tosi. Kyllä sitä joskus on meikattua tullut.
Well, you got this wolf on a leash now.
The very basics, then. I suppose that's a start. So, 3 questions asked, 3 questions answered. Let's evaluate, shall we? As per your own testimony, you can tailor and groom, but you have the taste buds of a dung beetle. Still, beggars can't be choosers. So without further ado, I offer you my sincerest congratulations. As of now, you are my slave.
Yeah, in your dreams.
Just skip to the part where I reassure you and you shut up.
Mad? What now?
Surely.
My slave, of course. Oh, but I see. Yes, I suppose it must take some time for the full extent of this honor to sink in. Anyway, you may leave me for a moment. We'll go over your duties once we reach Fort Joy. Now shoo!
What the fuck?
Forgive me, kin. Were that I had more than gruel to serve. If I'd more than cornmeal and rotting roots, I'd concoct something more fitting. Meanwhile, the Magisters feast on honeyed meat behind this very wall. The indignity.
Now.
Oho.
As soon as the Inquisitor gets here, we'll hang him right over the side of this ship with it.
Tarvii kyllä niinku kaikkea. Missä se on? Combine.
I'm trying to concentrate.
They don't care about us. We're like cattle to them. Strongly suspect.
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on.
Do you? One of us will kill our own. They're
Mikä
putting
tää
us
juttu
off one
on?
by one.
Can we just skip to the part where I reassure you and you shut up?
You think me mad?
Mad? Insufferable? Surely.
What are you trying to hear anyway?
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
Ehkä mä en tee nyt
How dare
mitään.
you classify this slop as food? I've seen more appetizing things coming out of plague-stricken pigs.
There's nothing else I can make, Your Majesty. Turnips and water are all I was given.
Unacceptable.
I've never dined on anything less than a dozen-course dinner, and I don't intend to do away with the custom.
Well,
Koiralla ei ole mitään
there has been
sanottavaa.
a murder, Your Majesty.
Name?
Maybe that has the Magister's more concern than your appetite.
The Divine Order wants to know. Well, you aren't here on my list. Scrammy. We're trying to catch a killer here.
Joo, mä tiedän.
Ah, there you are. Wife.
What?
Would you please tell this very charming gaggle of not at all brat-like babes that I am by no accounts this loser woman, nor do I sing, in fact. I'm deathly allergical.
Oliks tää nyt kans niistä joku Originsin? Mä en muista niiden nimiä. En oo tosiaan ennen pelannut tätä peliä. Ei mitään hajua näistä tyypeistä, mutta onks tää nyt se, mikä siinä Origin Storyssa oli? Vähän bardi-oloinen tyyppi. Mä varmaan missasin oikeesti tossa äsken jonkun niistä, koska en tiedä, oliko se sitten se, joka siellä noppia heitteli, oliko sekin joku Origins-tyyppi. Sen Beastin mä tunnistin, koska sillä on helppo nimi. Ja tuo Red Prince. En ollos. Huuslois. Niin, kuka? En tunne. No, leikitään mukana.
How very correct you are, spouse of mine. Madame Josephine Gribbles de Peeb refuses to be confused with anyone else.
Madame Josephine Gribbles de Peeb.
What? What's so funny?
Her pinched face cracks into a great grin, and she shoos the children away from her with a laugh.
Yeah, okay, you found me out. Go on and git, and maybe I'll sing you something when I'm good and ready.
She turns to you, dark-eyed and dirty-haired, and smiles flatly.
Gotta keep ourselves entertained, haven't we?
Closer you presume. Niin, I presume.
You presume right.
Kid, you been down by the room up the hall? No. You sure about that?
Thanks, but I already belong to an elite and exclusive ship gang. We play ball every day after lunch. You're too soft for it. You take care, though. Nope, trying not to find anything out either. Ignorance is bliss. The utterer, the better.
Suddenly, her eyes cloud to an unnatural black. Greyish veins run down her face, and her mouth tightens into a cruel sneer. As quickly as they came, the clouds clear. She smiles as though no change came over her.
Good luck, Chief.
One of us will
Okay.
kill our own.
Take it easy, Chief. You don't want to get noticed for the wrong reason.
Part where I reassure you and you shut up. You think me mad?
The elf is reading a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia. He looks up, his big round eyes scanning your body, absorbing every detail. He reaches out, flicks a finger against one of your scales, and rubs his chin.
Fascinating.
He sits back and returns to his book, flicking quickly from page to page, completely oblivious to your presence.
Okay.
There has been a murder, Your Majesty. Maybe that has the Magister's more concern than your appetite.
Don't you get saucy with me when you clearly don't know the first thing about sauce.
It is simultaneously too detailed and insufficient. I know the beginning of this tale and the end, but I am rather missing the middle. Tell me, what do you know of our world's history?
En mitään.
Oh, please. I have no interest in that. Your books are too full of it already. No, I want to know about the Celestial. I want to know about your gods. This text tells me that they created all creatures, but nothing of what came before. Where did these gods come from? Who are their people? Where are the others of their kind? Of course you don't have any useful information. Why did I expect anything else? Now please, run along. I have a world to decipher.
No amount of pestering will get the elf to take his eyes off his book or respond to your questions.
Right.
Got this wolf on a leash now.
Here's the register, ma'am. Good, good. Magister Williams has just about done with the last passenger. You faring okay so far? Course I do. Seems Voidwoe can dog your heels like a shadow. That's no way to live, is it? You'll see. We're gonna help you. You head on in now. Williams will get you sorted fast.
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet
No
long
ihan
enough for me
vielä.
to listen.
When I want you to attend me, I'll whistle. Until then, go stand in a discreet corner.
Aika epäystävällinen tyyppi
I
kyllä.
ain't saying nothing.
Eli tuo on...
Bloody dwarves.
Oliks
The
tää
woman
nyt
keeps rolling her dice. She pays you no further notice.
se Bill? Tää oli kanssa siinä alussa. Ja tämä...
That right? I
Lähti
always knew
yhtään
you'd turn out rotten, Ben Nest. Your kind always hung closest to our divine, like wolves around a campfire. I'm busy watching for clues, sorcerer. Go take your sub-story somewhere else.
Kuka tää oli? Tää oli se yksi kanssa.
A scruffy man lounges against the wall with scarred arms folded. A sly smile playing on his face, he stares across at the Magister guarding him. Noticing you, he straightens and beckons for you to come closer.
Watch your back, new fish. There's a murderer on board, and I'd bet 3 months' pay it's this trampy fan.
Rolling his eyes at the Magister's warning, the man named Ifan beckons again. He leans in and adjusts your collar with a sharp tug, balancing its weight so it no longer presses unpleasantly on your neck. He winks.
Pinches less that way, right?
Hocking a phlegmy gobbet in your general direction, the sullen Magister settles back to his task of glowering at Ifan. And now, you.
We used to know each other, more's the pity. I was his commander many, many, many moons ago. Isn't that right, Vic?
Standing far back from Ifan, the tight-faced Magister draws one finger across his throat in an elaborate fashion, but says nothing. Ifan grins, flashing pointed white teeth.
Same as he was at 14 years old. Only difference is somebody gave him a bigger sword and now he's Johnny Big Pants.
Johnny Big Pants.
There has been a murder, Your Majesty. Maybe that has the Magister's more concerned than your appetite.
Don't you get saucy with me when you clearly don't know the first thing.
Long story. Maybe I'll tell you about it in the joy. Away from interested parties. No.
No.
The dead man, Finn, is it? I'd no business with him. And I wouldn't put a man down without good reason.
He glances over at Magister Victor, who's staring back at him with pointed intensity.
Damn shame sheer annoyance isn't reason enough.
How dare you classify this slop as food? I've seen more appetizing.
The joy, I've heard a lot. Nothing good. No surprise there, since Bishop Alexander runs the show. Wonder if we'll get to meet the ringmaster himself.
Ringmaster.
Unacceptable. I've never dined on anything less than a dozen-course dinner, and I don't intend to do away with the custom.
Well, there has been a murder, Your Majesty. Maybe that has the Magister's more concerned than your appetite.
En mä tiedä oikein kuka se on.
Don't you get saucy with me when you clearly don't know the first thing about sauce.
Not interested in the son of the divine himself? I don't blame you one bit. But Vic here will blow a blood vessel if he hears you talking like that.
Ai joo. Eli se on joku jalustalle nostettu tyyppi.
What are you conspiring about over there? You, lizard, what's your name?
Oh, don't mind him. Vic's just got a bee in his bonnet. And that bee is me.
Name?
Magister Victor looks at you suspiciously, then scrawls something illegible down in a tiny notebook. He scowls at you as he stows the notebook back in his voluminous robes.
Away with you, at once.
Ifan performs an elaborate pantomime of keeping quiet, one finger in front of his lips as he leans back against the wall.
How dare you classify this slop?
Ifan raises his eyebrows, but shakes his head at your attempts to communicate, glancing sideways at the angry face of Magister Victor.
Nothing else I can do, Your Majesty. Turnips and water are all I was given.
Mä taisin kattoo tonne jo.
Unacceptable. I've never dined on anything less than a dozen-course dinner, and I don't intend to do away with the custom.
Well, there has been a murder, Your Majesty. Maybe that has the Magister's more concerned than your appetite.
Don't you get saucy with me when you clearly don't know the first thing about sauce.
Sorry.
It was one of them. I know it.
Kai me jatketaan tänne.
I'm trying to concentrate. Clean those bolts trying on her. And if she tries to run, shoot her kid.
You seem on edge, officer. What on earth is the matter?
Murder most foul, and I strongly suspect you know all about it.
Do you? Well, perhaps you're absolutely right.
Standing at the center of the room, you spot a sorcerer haughtily eyeing a pair of nervous-looking magisters. They keep their crossbow trained upon her as she's being interrogated by an officer.
So you admit it then? You murdered that poor fella.
Yes, I did. But of course, that was only the beginning.
She turns her head and looks you straight in the eye.
There are others whose lives must end.
Good God, the woman's mad. You there, sorcerer, go and fetch Magister Siwan. We need to do more than collar this maniac. We need to shackle her, hands and feet.
It means your journey draws to a close. Do stick around for its finale, though, because...
She reaches for her collar and simply removes it.
I'm just about to create a scene.
Oh, go.
Subdue her, men, quickly! If she casts source, the Voidwoken will come. They'll end us all.
She smiles with wicked satisfaction.
Precisely.
Mä kerännyt juttelee sille. What the fuck?
What? What's happened?
Ah. Were cumbered. More than a common metal. Mä en kerännyt lukea, mitä tuossa sanottiin. Mikä tää on? Tarvitaanko näitä tyhjiä mukeja mihinkään? Tässä menee kyllä ikuisuus, jos mä tällä tavalla yritän aukasta. No. Onko tässä joku aikarajoitus? Toivottavasti ei, mä haluan lukea nää. Oli. Leadership. Mulla on yksi Yksi hiton. Ei, miksi ne on kaikki täällä?
Oh! What? What happened? Must have been the turnips. You dare strike.
The lizard's eyes close as he slips into unconsciousness.
Ei.
You shake the lizard by the shoulders, but you're unable to wake him up.
Ei.
The dwarf lies in a heap on the floor, his great beard twisted and tangled around him. He is stock still. You can't see if he's living or dead. You hear a faint thud, thud, thud. He's alive, but only just.
Miksi mä oon ainoa, joka täällä on niinku... Ei.
The young woman lies in a heap on the floor. She's breathing normally, but her eyes are wide open, like those of a corpse. Dark, greyish-black clouds swirl through them. She doesn't stir. Ifan lies motionless, curled on the ground like an animal. Under his shaggy hair, you can see green eyes fluttering as if in a nightmare. A low whine escapes his lips. His eyes flicker open, but he doesn't register your presence at all.
Lucien. Lucien.
Ifan cries out, then his eyes fall closed again. No matter how much you shake him now, he cannot be roused.
Mikä näistä nyt oli se? En mä halua tälleen. Ei tossa tuu mitään tommosella. Mitä mun pitää tehdä?
No, not the final dark. Not yet.
Her hand lies limp in yours. She's too weak to stand.
The dice roll darkly. They're rolling for me.
Weapons chest. Missä oli weapons chest? Shiv. Critical damage, backstabbing this. Critical damage rate. Eli sama kuin tossa pocket knifeissa. Duration 2. No niin, se on kesto. Täällä on durability. Voi vitsi. Good part of a two-handed. Okay. All in. Mikä se on? Katsotaas. Mihinkä tää niinku... Aivan. Mä tiedän, haluanko mä... tuo ja sitten... Pystynkö mä käyttää kahta? En. Vai pystynkö mä käyttää näissä kahta? Okei. Tänne. Ei oteta tommosia. Ei jonko mä tappelen koiraa vastaan.
God damn it! Need to get off this wreck, and quick! Damn! That doesn't bode well. Onwards and upwards!
Yes. Mä en tiedä, haluanko mä tapella koiraa vastaan. Ei oo hätää.
Not long before this thing snaps into splinters!
Toivottavasti tässä ei oo mitään aikasysteemiä. Koska... Okei. Semmonen. Mitäs nää
gods! By divine grace, who was that howling?
He eyes the collar circling your neck and reaches a hand towards his blade.
Another sorcerer!
Even if I knew how to rip that thing off, I wouldn't. Some crazy banshee comes screaming through, and now we got void bugs swarming up top. Saw it coming, I did. Sorcerer mutiny.
Void bugs. Vitsi, mistä mä näen? Paljonko mulla nää oli, koska mä en muista. Baldur's Gateissa kun pistää hiiren tähän, niin ne näyttää mikä se on. Oh, success.
Go on then. Find a place to hide and stay there.
En mä piiloudu. My sweet Stephen, as I write this letter, we near the isle. By the time the owl delivers it, I will be but a day away. I've needed Alexander's orders, heeded Alexander's orders, just as you said I should. But I think of Lucian often. Would the divine have condoned this? Would we have blessed us as we ripped children from their mothers? Can this be the only way? I feel cold inside and out. Of one thing I am certain. Your arms will warm me when I find you again. With love, Rix.
And you thought Rivellon was flat?
You need to find a hiding place. What will happen?
Otetaan tuo. Mitä tuo tarkoitti? Todellakaan tiedä, mitä mun pitäisi tehdä. Otetaan jousipyssy. Pystynkö mä? Ei sitten. Mä luulin, että mä pystyisin. Barrels have been locked down in storage. Stay out. You're on Rick's boat. If anyone starts fooling around down there, it'll be lights out, Captain Carby. Vitsi, tää on vähän jännittävää tämmössä laivassa hengata. Top deck.
Something's pounding on the hull! Oikeesti tarvinko mä tämmösiä? On aivan täynnä tavaraa. Avain tähän. Ei tuolla joku.
You pass through the door and are suddenly face to face with an undead. His skull is bizarrely angular and a glorious jewel sits in the middle of his forehead. The skeleton is quickly leafing through a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia, muttering to himself.
No, no, no! What damn fools record knowledge on a pulped tree? It catches fire, it turns into must when wet, it cannot even resist acid! No wonder they're so bloody ignorant.
The skeleton looks up and notices you for the first time.
Oh, it's you. Shouldn't you be running and screaming or some such?
The skeleton groans and looks back to his book, frantically flipping from page to page.
Yes, indeed. It's the look of someone that wants to read the bloody book he's holding.
Mä tykkään tästä.
Now, if you're really quite finished, I believe you have lifeboats to flee to.
Se on varmaan ollut joku taika päällä. Taika sillä päällä, että se ei oo erottunut joukosta.
Please, I was no more an elf than you are those rags you're wearing. I had a mask, rather ingeniously designed, which allowed me to take that primitive form. A mask that was stolen by that damned witch after her little scene. Still, she'll drown with the rest of these fools, and I will simply pluck my mask from her cold, dead hands.
Yeah.
Indeed. Just as sensible as getting off a sinking ship and leaving a fellow to his business. I would say good day, but it seems quite likely that you're about to die a rather terrible death, so...
The skeleton shrugs casually and returns to his book.
Please, my time is short. Although yours, I gather, is infinitely shorter.
Mä haluan ton tyypin mukaan. Tuo on hauska oloinen tyyppi.
The marking on the door was painted recently, judging from its pungent scent. You recognize the symbol immediately for what it is, a warning of death fog within. You press your palm against the door to open it. The wood feels neither cold nor warm, but simply grey. The color drains from your hand, and you are left numb.
Onks tää hyvä idea mennä tonne?
It doesn't budge. The door groans open, but an ashen shadow clouds your mind.
Instant death. Siellä olisi jotain tavaraakin ollut. Eli mä en... Pystynkö mä menee tähän? Tallennetaan tuo ja... Pystynkö mä tähän? Okei, siellä ei oo Mä en tiedä, oisko mun pitänyt... Tää menee miten menee, mä en... Been anything that was once inside something or someone. Oh. Tarvitaanko me tätä? Eikä. Hui kauhea. Vitsi mikä möllikkä tossa menee yli. Mikä kraken siellä on? Oh my god. On kyllä semmonen loot goblini oikeesti. Mä herran. Okei. En mä halua mennä tonne. Oh, no. Olisiko mun pitänyt auttaa jotakin tyyppejä?
Children and dwarfs first, just like the old stories say.
The dwarf yanks at one of the nearby ropes to no avail.
You said there were other people down there. We need to help them.
You see those tentacles, kid? It's time for getting the hell out of here.
Sitä mä mietin, tarviiko me auttaa ketään. Miten me autetaan niitä? Ne ei herännyt kukaan.
There's a ladder right over there. You can go straight down.
You're gonna be the death of us, you hear?
Okei. Miten tonne mennään? Tosta. Katonkos mä näin jo?
Beardless bugs won't sink the ship on my watch.
Petrified. Ooh. Oho.
They who are about to triumph.
I thought Voidwoken was supposed to be scary. Let the games begin.
I've faced worse.
Vihdoinkin hereillä.
I hear something. It's Magister Siwan, the one who put on this damn collar.
She tries to speak, but can only gape as she clutches her neck, trying to stem the bleeding of a gushing wound. With jagged movements, she raises her clenched fist and holds out a length of cloth soaked with some kind of strong-smelling tincture. Blood quickly soaks through the cloth. Magister Siwan's mouth opens and closes, her eyes wide in terror.
Mä en tiedä mitä siinä on. Myrkytinkö mä se justiin vai
It's working. The pressure is stemming the flow of blood. Siwan clutches your arm, her eyes locked with yours. Something within the ship snaps. The floorboards shudder. Siwan struggles to her feet, clinging to you tightly. The ship lets out a deep groan, then cracks.
Oh, apua. Apua.
Ripping the ship apart!
Apua. Kuolinko mä, kun mä jäin auttaa sitä? Fuck. Mitä tapahtuu?
I have plans for you, child. Rise.
What?
Honorable Dallas, we lost a ship sailing sorcerer prisoners to Fort Joy. We assume some escaped and broke their collars. Their vile magic lured the Voidwoken. All who were aboard are presumed dead.
Okay.
Yours faithfully into eternity, High Judge Orivan.
Rewind. Okay. For joy.
Those Voidwoken made short bloody work of the ship. Am I the lone survivor? Or it seems someone, something, wanted me alive.
Tää on niin söpö, mut mulla on vieläkin tää kaulapanta nyt sitten. Mistäs mä nyt tiedän? Niin tää on mun health bar, 48. Stained pants. Tää on parempi kuin tuo. Rahaa kelpaa aina. Fort Joy Beach. Whisperwood. Short stick. Useless. To the untrained eye. Tää se menee. Sight range indicator. Enemies ahead. Press left shift. Oh my god. Hieno puska. Oh my god. Noita.
Voidwoken. Those are the same beasts that sank our ship. Damn, they made it to shore.
Onko mä niinku... Pysy paikoillas nyt. Älä käänny! Perkele. This character has no talents. Okay.
These bloody collars were supposed to keep those things at bay.
Maybe not then.
Drowned and eaten by a voidwoken. I wonder in which order.
Okay. Voinko mä siis täältä niin kuin myöskin ottaa skills? Onko mä siis niin kuin... Eiks näitä pysty vetää tänne? Annetaan noitten olla vielä. On joku viiksellä. Excuse me. Sir Laura. Eep, eep, eep. Mikä? Who are you? Nip, nip, nip. Saa se mua seurata, ei mua haittaa. Sharp Rock. Hey. Hello.
You spot a strange lizard gazing over the water with a steady, malcontent stare. His skin is of a bright, blood-red colour. Could he be... Yes, you recognise him from the ship.
Oh.
It would seem you're not the only one who survived the tentacles of the deep.
Ollaan kilttejä. Vaikka se oli kyllä aika Mielenkiintoinen tapa.
The lizard turns about with the graceful ease of a dancer, or a duelist. You lock eyes with his, two smouldering embers that sizzle your very soul.
I did survive, yes. And chances are I wouldn't have, had you not returned to the aid of your fellow passengers down in that dreadful hole. You have my gratitude.
Hand over heart, he salutes you with a bob of the head. More than a nod, though less than a bow.
Ei, kyllä me tykätään auttaa ihmisiä kuitenkin.
Yes, I'm sure you've all the makings of a hero and all that, but let's not get carried away, shall we?
Mikä liiskoastarian tää oikein on?
Nevertheless, one good turn does deserve another, so as far as the whole slave business is concerned, let's just forget about it.
Kiitos.
You may as well have your freedom.
Jep. Vapaus, mitä mä en koskaan menettänytkään. Mä en koskaan ollut sun orja.
Now then, if there's nothing further. I'm sure I don't mean to sound condescending, but I had thought it quite self-evident I was gazing out over the waves.
He sighs dramatically.
Tell me, what do you see when you cast your glance over this ocean?
Kraken-infested wasteland. Yeah.
Touché.
He looks out over the water once more, and so do you. A few tranquil moments pass as the waves lap against your thoughts.
As for myself, when I consider this vast expanse before us, I see an empire. I see continents dotted with mighty cities. And shimmering along the soft curve of the sea's horizon, I picture the palaces that formed my paradise. Lost.
Paradise lost. What do you mean by lost exactly? Tell him that's rather a specific vision. Why an empire? Say castles in the sky might as well. That's a rather specific vision. Why an empire?
Of course it's rather specific. Quite obviously I'm musing over the very actual empire that I lost.
Suddenly, having all the air of being deeply offended, he stares at you with utter incredulity.
Well, don't just stand there gawking like an ape at an abacus. Or do you really mean to tell me you don't know who I am?
No, I don't. No idea. You suppose he can be no other than famed Red Prince, if such thing is possible. A red lizard that can only mean one thing. Someone who had an empire to lose, tell him why you don't run with that kind of crowd. I really don't have no... I haven't... I have no idea.
Oh, may the seven have mercy on their own creation.
Yes, indeed.
I am the Red Prince, the All-Conqueror, the World Tamer, the spouse of the sun.
Alrighty then.
Of course you know me.
There's a brief moment's pause, during which his grandiloquent pose deflates ever so slightly.
That said, I suppose I must own up to the fact that I find myself rather in between all-conquering and world-taming opportunities at the moment. The grandeur that is my fate has hit a bit of a snag. But never you worry. For the throne I was destined, and my throne I shall have.
Okay. Travel with me.
truly. A kind offer indeed. And you've already proven to be trustworthy enough. You came back for the others on that ship after all. Fine, I accept. On one condition. For reasons I'll not disclose right now, it is imperative that I should meet with a dreamer, one of our kind's revered mystics. I've reason to believe one of them may be present on this island. Promise me we'll look for him, and I'll extend you the blessing of my company.
Okay.
Jolly good.
Jolly good.
So, now that that's settled, first things first. Even if you are as versed in the art of eloquence as I am, that our swords will be doing a lot of the talking from here on out goes without saying. As a born fighter, I prefer the perfection of the blade myself. But I'm well acquainted with the secrets of magic, and yes, even subterfuge. What say you?
Okay. Yeah. It's fine.
Very well. Onwards then to victory or death.
The Red Prince nods and gives you a smile that wavers ever so delicately between courtesy and contempt.
Now, as you're aware, you'll be travelling with a prince. Proper forms of address include Your Majesty, Your Royal Highness, or if you're feeling particularly frivolous, Milord.
Milord.
As your luck would have it, I seem to be fresh out of luggage, so you won't be required to carry my belongings. Of course, there are other forms of protocol to bear in mind, but I'll see to it you'll pick up the rest as we go. So, without further ado, let us be off.
Okay. Knife on a stick. Mitäs mä pistän sulle bucketin päähän? Healing powers. Alright.
A black cat? Well, some would see this as an omen.
The cat's eyes are clouded and grey, but it stares at you with acute intensity. Its eyes clear, and it shakes its head, confused.
Mikähän tän on? Tuollakin joku oranssi. Hei, kuka siellä?
Hey, lady. It's a lot nicer here than that stinking boat, huh? I'm sure glad you went back to save the others. Saw one of them wringing out their tunic at the shore a few hours ago. Say hi for me. I never want to set foot on a stuffy old boat ever again. Never.
Ai, nyt tuo kissakin seuraa meitä. Okei. Mikä on tuolla?
Need I repeat myself?
I know nothing of any murders.
We already know the truth, Magister. Now speak. I am a proud lawyer to yours. Where is
Mikä paikka
he?
tää on?
Vara. She ain't come back.
Onks nää
We
vihollisia?
already know the truth, Magister. Now
Mitä mä? Oho, mitä mä painoin? Se meni. Tossahan se. Se oikein meni. Tännekö? Hieno kallo. Oho. Shovel. Just looking around, you may be able to dig something up. Okay.
I wonder where this leads.
Me too. Hey!
As the alcove opens up, you see the same skeleton that you met on the boat before it sank. He's still not wearing his mask. He's leaning over a corpse, prodding and pulling at the skin of its face.
Bugger.
Bugger.
How on earth am I supposed to... Oh.
Skeletal fingers reach down and grip the skin of the dead man's face, pulling sharply upwards. After a few more tugs at the man's cheeks, the skeleton relents, letting the head drop to the ground with a damp thud.
Damnation. That stuck fast. I wonder, does the beard act as some form of anchor? Ah! No! Stay back! Don't... Oh. It's you. I must admit I'm surprised. Perhaps you're more buoyant than I suspected. Oh, yes. An exceptionally common, but exceptionally valuable commodity. A face. A face that seems rather stubbornly attached to his skull.
Stubbornly attached.
I would normally employ a tool to delicately but viciously rip the face from the body.
Okay.
I could then craft a mask to hide my bone. But as I lack such a tool...
The skeleton grabs the corpse by the cheeks and pulls hard, grunting in frustration as the body's skin holds firm.
Because my own was stolen from me. And the idea of being chased across Riverlon by every idiot with a torch does not appeal.
Okay.
Oh, No! Get away! Monster! Hide the children! You are simple beasts. And you simply do not like my... well, not my kind, but those that look like me. So, if I am to traverse this land, I will need a mask to disguise my features.
Not his kind.
Simply put, I am an eternal, and you are not.
Okay.
You have my sympathies. Indeed, no one seems to have the good taste to be. My people are rather absent, at least from this realm. As for the others, well, there is an excavation site at the Black Pit's oil fields. Perhaps there I'll find my answers.
Kult. No ei varmaan.
I suppose, circumstances being what they are, it could be advantageous. You seem more at ease in this world than I. A guide would certainly be useful. Excellent. While we are conversing, perhaps you notice that I am rather skilled in, well, all things. Of course, the arcane arts are my little speciality, but being a brilliant wizard does not mean I cannot handle blade or bow. So, which do you require for this enterprise of yours?
Okei, eli me voidaan oikeasti määritellä, mitä nämä osaa siinä vaiheessa, kun me otetaan nämä mukaan. Hän sanoo, että Arcane Arts.
Much magic? I was controlling the powers of the universe while your people were still... doing whatever it is you used to do. What speciality would you prefer?
Necromancer olisi aika jännä tommoselle luurankotyypille. Oikeestihan me tarvittais joku, mutta ehkä me löydetään joku, joka me voidaan sitten pistää tohon healingiin ja muihin.
Oh, you have asked the wizard if he would please join your party as a wizard.
Yes, I did.
And here I was, worried that your people might not be the sharpest tools in the crate. I could do that with one hand behind my spine.
Good.
Now, shall we get on? There is rather a lot to see. Splendid.
Splendid.
Very well. Let's be off.
Tää on hauska tyyppi. Fein. Alrighty then. Apps. Mitä mä nyt taas menin ottamaan? Uusi barrel. Eli niillä on inventaario. Aika pieni, mutta... tommonen. Pistäpäs semmonen paita päälle. Poisoned. Jos tonne päästään. Dead end. Can't reach. Well, fuck you then. Mitäs tuolla on sitten? Oh. Katsotaan nuo vähän ajan päästä. Mä luulen, että joudun pitää nyt tauon tässä. Täytyy koirat huoltaa ja muuta semmoista. Mutta palataan tästä sitten seuraavan kerran. Hauska oloinen peli.